Hello everyone, this is Chaff Commander Coffee, back with another episode of Dominions4 Thrones of Ascension. Today we have to continue our campaign in our RandomNationGen as Saltnoham, and we are coming close to pushing our campaign into the sea to capture the final Thrones of Ascension we're going to need to attain Ascension. So without further ado, let's go into the messages. Right now I'm not expecting too much combat of any significance, that is, because we're pulling our forces back to prepare our armies and be ready to move into the sea. So let's just go over anyway, from top to bottom. Augias has cast Gnome Law. We found another site in Golem range, which is quite nice. Which one was that? Was that Castle Arcanum? Did we? I think we found Castle Arcanum there. Well, we definitely didn't find the Caverns of Glowing Moss, so Castle Arcanum. Now, this is quite an interesting one because it's like the Kelp Fortress we found a few turns ago. It gives you a free fortress, but we already had a fortress here. So but on the other hand, it does enable the recruitment of wizards and warrior mages. So we'll take a quick look at those. So here's the wizard. It's a fire mage, and we do have plenty of fire gems hanging around. They are good researchers. They're very good researchers. Although our research is quite advanced right now, so I'm not sure how useful these wizards will be. They have one fire magic, and they can random, well, 2 randoms of 100%, so they're level 3 mages, of fire, air, water, earth, or astral. Now, astral would be very nice to get, but it might be a bit too late in the campaign to make proper use of them. If I had have got Castle Arcanum a bit earlier on, these would be perhaps a bit more useful for us. They're also slow to recruit, which is not ideal. And we also got warrior mages. Now, these aren't slow to recruit. They are basically heavy knights who also have fire, air, water, or earth magic. Now, they're only level 2 mages, but they are effectively more accessible. I suppose they could be sort of cheap, very cheap thug chassis, because they have access to various different elemental magics. Depending on what they random, they can make quite formidable combatants. They're not able to take on anything particularly scary, but they're not bad. Not bad. So we may recruit a few of these to help protect our Fortress of Golem range. We'll see. We shall see. Right, so that was a nice discovery there. I believe Castle Arcanum also provides 1 fire gem and 1 earth gem. Yeah, 1 fire gem, 1 earth gem. So not bad. There's 2 gems and some nice recruitable units. We binded and contacted a load more summonable units. We're going to need them, so some good stuff. We cast Dark Knowledge. No new sites found in Nuptia. No new sites found in the Old Flood. No new sites found in Old Flood. And that's all for looking for magic sites. So one site found, and quite a good one, but never mind. We did cut down on our blood hunting because of unrest. We'll just quickly check these provinces. Syria is reaching a rather dangerous level of unrest, so we'll cut off on that for a moment. And in Brightgate as well. But no unrest problems here. We don't have those many blood hunters, so no problem. Right. Some unexpected events in Epernia. That's just the water gems again. I should really remember that will be the water gems, but you never know, it could be something else. In Runia, we found some earth gems, quite nice. And in Moonsea, An omen that spoke of the decline of the god was seen, and rumours of it have spread widely. -3 Dominion. Well, let's hope those omens don't come true, because we're coming close to victory. But if Sol is to decline now, that would be rather problematic, but we'll come back to that. Some scouts were discovered and killed, no doubt. Yes, a few of our scouts were discovered and killed. And we killed some brigands. We also ran out of supplies in Gila again, which we should be able to fix this turn, because I built some more bags of endless wine. So we have some battles to go through. There's a battle in Griffa, which we were pulling out of the province, so this should just be a small force of Medians, and then our one heavy cavalry who just routed. So we lost Griffa, but we're not intending on keeping that. There was a battle in Alluvia, which is bringing another one of our generals one step closer to that throne in Lake Fortune. The garrison is quite weak, as you can see. Well, not weak, small, but yes, Triton Knights are quite tough. Let's hope the goblins can handle them. Oh dear. Yeah, this might be a loss. We'll see. Yeah, they don't seem to be able to handle the Triton Knights. Let's just speed it up a little bit. No. Unfortunately, the goblins were not enough to deal with Triton Knights. In fact, they all got killed. So we lost all of our skirmishers there, but they can be easily replaced. But that is a bit unfortunate. Never mind. There was a battle in the woodlands. Yes, Lycia has decided to move against us, which we did expect. They will have to push through Emorzar. But let's see how the garrison does. Now, I did boost up the province defense here because there was quite a few Amazons and the Jade Maidens, which are not that bad. So we'll see how they do. I don't think we'll win, but we might be able to score some kills, which would be quite nice. There's quite a few tigers here, which is a bit unexpected, but never mind. See how the Jade Maidens do. We might be able to score a few kills on their army before they take the province. Although I am worried these wolves will kill all of our Jade Maiden sorceresses. It looks like the wolves may kill our Jade sorceresses. And over here the Jade Maidens are running away, but the Amazons are still fighting. We're getting a few kills on the Lycians. We'll make them pay for attacking this province, but it looks like they will win. Right, let's speed this up. I think this is our army is routing, yes. Rather unfortunate, but again, we're not planning on holding these lands, so we'll make the Lycians take some casualties for that. They lost 37 men, so we did lose a few Jade Sorceresses, which is a bit unfortunate, but never mind. And then there was a battle in Moonsea, where Boagrius and our pair of mages have moved in to take the province. Oh, let's get the seaweed out of the way. There is a number of lumber constructs. Interesting. I don't think the terracotta soldiers will have too many issues dealing with this. We have a skeleton chaff back up. Alright, let's just speed this up. There's a very small garrison, so here come the lumber constructs. No problem at all. Mop them up. So we took Moonsea. We only lost 7 of the terracotta soldiers, so not an issue. Right. let's get to it. So we didn't take Alluvia, but that's no problem. That was only a minor province. We weren't particularly interested in taking that. Celius can't. Oh, he can move to the Forest of Gila. Oh, because he can move through Nom, or he has 3 movement, of course. So he goes through Nom, New Mecria, and then to the Forest of Gila. So we do need to reinforce him, and we can take some of the men here. In Moonsea, now we're not that interested in keeping Moonsea. We would like to keep it because of the fact that we need to move men from the Forest of Gila into Moonsea so we can take Lake Fortune. But taking Lake Fortune is not of a top priority right now, because we need to get Lifrays, who will be over here in Golem range. This is his army. Let's give him... Right, so 10th Radon here. You're going to need a Goblet of the Sea King. Hark, you're going to need a... Oh, Hark, we can move his soldiers over to someone else. We'll move them over to... And we won't want these archers, so we'll move these archers out of the province, out of this army for now. We'll take this devil and just add him there. Hark can take his men away. We may leave Hark to defend this province as well, because if Hark is standing in the gate, I imagine he can hold it for quite some time, even though he's just a goblin. So we'll have Hark ready to protect there. Now these goblins with spears and bows, we are going to take them just because we want some numbers in the force. Eremas we don't particularly need, but he can Pandu take something? Nothing to boost his demon command, so we won't worry about that. I don't think Lifrays he can't lead any more demons, so never mind. Right, so Eurystheus has no men, Benna has no men, Hark doesn't have any men, so we'll leave them behind too, and neither does Eremas or Akaline. Right, so we'll take just this small selection of commanders and start moving them westward, so that we can capture Lake Fortune. That will take one. I'm just wondering which province would be best to move them to. If we move them to here, it's summer, so we don't have enough heat scale to move across here. Well, we'll have him collect some reinforcements in Duvan. There's some heavy cavalry there that he should be able to make use of. So we'll have him move to Pustinia, Duvan, then across to Nom, once it becomes colder in autumn, and then into Uzid Yazran or the Forest of Gila, and then into Lake Fortune. So that's about 5 turns or so. Right, and the rest of the army, which is quite a lot of men. Now, we won't need the archers, so we're going to favour leaving the archers behind. So Ergen is going to stay here on patrol, and we'll fill up his army with archers. Right, that's a good split there. So we want to leave Ergen there. What other commanders can we leave? Badawi, we want to leave Badawi there, because Badawi is our main Flame Arrow and Wing Guide caster. So we're going to leave Badawi there. Right, and we will give Badawi... There's 50 archers. I think Badawi can command 50 archers with no issues. Where is he? Let's look for the pygmy riding an ant. Here we go. So Badawi can take these archers, and they can just be set to fire on skirmish. Just around... I'll put them around Badawi just to give him some kind of defense. We don't want him getting picked off by flying units. And Hark can stay here on patrol as well. Actually, Hark can start building the castle up. We're going to need him to do that. So, what else do we have here in this force? We want to move them to Saltneham. That is for sure. So we'll move them to Saltneham. We've got a decent number of imps still, which is not terrible. Ilatos has a few cavalry just to guard him. I believe he was carting around blood slaves, so we'll give him a few more. We have a few cavalry which won't be particularly useful underwater, but we'll take them because they are more units, more melee units. We're going to want the majority of the sacred units in this force. In fact, we'll just take all of them. Because they're going to be going with Solve to conquer the sea. So we'll take those along. In fact, I'll give these stray demons to Solve as a guard, because he's going to need a few guards. I'll give him these imps as well. Right, and this cavalry commander here has a few guards. He can keep them. It's not fair. I'll have to rescript their spells when we get to it, but right now that should do. Right, so the commanders that are defending, we'll go through them quickly. So we have Eramas, he can patrol. Aceline, or Acaline, she can research. Oh, it's swapped over to Perseus. He was bringing cavalry to Saltneham, so he can move there. V has brought some more goblins for the underwater assault, so he can command a total of 150. So we'll give him some more goblins. We want to leave the sacred ones behind because he's not a prophet or anything. So let's see if he can move those men. He can, so he can move his entire army into Green Waters now. That's another 100 men for that campaign. Tok needs to build a temple if possible, yes. But we haven't got much gold left. So that'll probably be all the gold we spend this turn. This is our summoned Revenant. We're going to give him a Death Staff and move him into Epernia. We'll move him further along. In fact, we'll take Deathlight and Uthtrack as well. We need some Horde of Skeleton spammers, and they will do just fine for that. We won't worry about summoning any more. We'll come back to Magoth. We'll come back to him. Cillian can go to research in Emilzar. Now Emilzar's about to be attacked by this Lycian army, so we're probably going to lose it, but that's not of a great concern because the Ferren Mountains doesn't even have province defense. So I'll just give it some basic province defense. But Emilzar's more likely going to be sieged, which is fine. Again, we're not worried about losing it. You can go to research. Eurystheus can patrol for now. I want to move the armies out and then sort them out, I guess, because there's not really much else we need to do here. No, not particularly. No. Right, you can seduce an enemy commander. Right, we'll see if our succubus can seduce someone here. Right, these are our last two commanders. We're going to have you cast a ritual spell and bind another Archdevil. And our first Archdevil we got was Magoth. So, Archdevils are the lords of the fiery inferno. Winged and powerful, they lead the infernal armies. They are mighty users of fire magic. Archdevils radiate heat and are themselves impervious to heat and flames. They have heat 6 and fire resistance of 31. But they are susceptible to cold and frost, which is a bit awkward since we have a cold Dominion, but not to worry. There are only 5 known Archdevils. Magoth is weaker than the other Archdevils, but he is skilled in astral magic. And we have been trying to get an astral mage. Now, he doesn't have any blood magic, but he does have fire and astral, which, as far as I remember, do we have that in evocation? We do. He can cast Flaming Meteor. Now that can't be used underwater, but having a Flaming Meteor caster in Golem range would bolster the defences significantly. So we're going to have Magoth just basic script him, move him to the back, and have Magoth come to Golem range and act as a powerful evocation caster, just to bolster our defense there against any Median forces that push south too far. Right, I have no other commanders that need, well, commands, but we'll quickly just go over them. So we bound a bunch more devils here, which we can hand over to... Can't really hand them over to anyone in particular, so we'll just give them and these devils here. Just pull them up here. There's 8 of them so far. What we might do actually is get one of these who are binding, or do we have someone with a... Right. I'm looking for someone with... Right, you have a Dwarven Hammer. Can you forge a Demon Whip? You can. So forge a Demon Whip for us, please. I want to get another Demon Whip on one of these commanders so that we can... Although Abide has the Crown of Command. Does that give him more? It does give him Undead. Aha. That's something Maggoth could craft for us as well. So I'm going to give Abide the Demons and Devils for now, because he can lead them. And morale is not going to be so much of an issue for the Demons since they have 30. The Terracotta Soldiers have 50. The Heavy Cavalry I'll probably move to another commander, such as Polypytos here. And we'll give him a... We'll give him a bag of Endless Wine. We'll give another bag of Endless Wine to Ilephis. Yes. And we'll give the Scepter of Command to Polypytos, just so that he can command some more units if we need to. In fact, he could just command the Barbarians, and then I could... there's a couple of Barbarians that he... Oh, he can command. These 2 Barbarian Chieftains are not the most useful thing I have lying around right now, so we'll not worry about them, but they can just patrol for now, I suppose. Onund, who's Onund commanding? A bunch of wolves. I mean, they act as a semi-useful unrest reducing force, I suppose. So there's no issues there. Right. Can I move any of these guys into the sea? I can, because I have some more goblets. So Polypytos can move into the Moon Sea. Oh, he can only take 50 units, right, I remember. So we'll take these barbarians out again and give them to one of the chieftains. Or 2 of the chieftains. And we'll take some of these cavalry out and give them to... We'll give them to Ilephis here. He can have some cavalry in his force. So we'll move Polypytos with his cavalry into the ocean. Now, it's not always a great idea to move cavalry into the underwater realm, because they're not particularly effective there, but 50 extra cavalrymen is going to be useful as a front line, if nothing else. So, and we do want to make sure that we have quite a lot of soldiers here, just in case Lunawatia decides to move in on us. I'm going to put a little bit of province defense there, just because there is a large force here. We'd rather be prepared for it than not. We do have one more Seeking Goblet. Now, we'll probably have to give it to one of these commanders, but right, we're going to need more Seeking Goblets. How many men have we summoned? So we summoned some Reef Giants. These are the Reef Giants. And these are the Childs of Tiamat. They have a Poison Cloud. We might have to put them on one flank. Oh, they have a Gift of Water Breathing as well. Interesting. Well, they're quite powerful. Stat-wise, they're very, very strong. I'm liking the look of them. Yeah, with regeneration as well. Yeah, good stuff. Right. We'll give them to Simois. They become undisciplined, right. And he can't command any more regiments. We can give them to one of the... What's their morale? Not great. The demons have much better morale, so we're going to move the demons back to Ogrol here. And move this undisciplined force of giantish units. We'll put them at the front, just so they act as a sort of a buffer for our army. And that seems to be just fine. But I am going to move I want these men to keep on, or I want those wizards to keep summoning units. So I think what I'm going to do is have this mage here, give him a water bracelet. I'll have him forge some more goblets. I believe they require, yes, water magic level 2. We'll have him forge some more goblets. And I believe we may run out of water gems next turn, so I'm going to do something that might be seen as a little wasteful. But I'm going to get one of our wizards here to just perform some alchemy for some water gems. We'll get about 40 water gems. I think that's probably enough. So we spent 60 of our astral pearls to get about 30 water gems, but given that we are going to be invading the water, we've only just got access to a astral mage. I think it's fine that we convert some astral pearls into water gems, just to give us that little bit of flexibility there. Right, how big is the force? It's still building up. We're going to need... We've got one... he's binding arc devils. We have someone forging demon whips. Where was that? Was that in Duvan? Yes, we've got someone forging a demon whip. I think I'm going to have Ufanisi here. I'm going to have him forge a demon whip as well. Because we're going to be getting a lot of commanders just around the place who have demons that we really need to pick up and start using. There's also a mage over here who's probably in need of a... oh, he's in need of some youth boots, actually. And so are you. Need to make sure to keep remembering to give those out, because otherwise these commanders will die of old age, which we'd prefer not to happen. Oh, and they were binding. Can you go back to binding, please? Not forging. Go back to binding some more devils. That would be great, thank you very much. Right. In Mexico, we have a few mages here who are just researching what they could do with some more Boots of Youth. Just to keep them alive, rather than not waste any of our major Sun Pontifexes. Right, we give Boots of Youth to him. Right, can you forge... I think we could do with a few more Dwarven hammers lying around, so you can forge a couple. In fact, you're forging lightless lanterns, you can keep doing that. We can give some of those out here. So we've eaten up some of our magical treasury that was just lying around, which is fine. Kimyar. Oh, you were capable of summoning sleepers. Well, we don't need any of those right now, or any more of those. Okay, so again, building up the force here in Moonsea. We should be able to move into Lake Fortune soon, but I really want Lift Rays to be there so that we can capture it on the next turn. If I can time it well, we should be able to claim both the thrones on the same turn. So we'll be able to move this army into the water next turn, and then it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the 5th turn to capture it. Now Lift Rays is going to take 1 to move here, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then capture on 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we've got... we have to consider that we're ending the turn to go there, so 6, right. So we're ending the turn to go here. 1, 2, hopefully. Should be able to move to Nom, actually, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to capture. So, if we're lucky and it's timed correctly, we should be able to have both these thrones captured in 6 turns, so in 2 months. So it will be the middle of winter of the 7th year. We could be looking at victory then. Maybe I was rather pessimistic in my estimation. Depends how fast we want to move the army forward. We shouldn't waste any time, because the Medians are building up and starting to move south, and I don't really want to be forced into a protracted war, especially where we could lose some thrones, and then that will cause us some great misery. We don't want that. Right, I think that's all for this turn. Research-wise, still moving on to Heliophagi. We'll keep binding Arc Devils for the time being. Can we start blood hunting any of these places again? Still need a few more turns to burn down their unrest, which is no problem. Right. Okay, that will do for this turn, I think. Alright. Let's end the turn there. Right, so moving into late summer, in the 7th year of the Ascension Wars. I'll leave that for the next episode though, don't want to make them too long again. Well, it's been me, Chaff Commander Coffee. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.